Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new week. Like we said earlier in the morning, this is the day the Lord has made. This is the week the Lord has made. Therefore, we will rejoice and be glad in it. And we expect to see good things, good news in our trading, good news in everything that concerns us this week. And as we start off, we like to ask three questions every time we come to the charts. Three questions. What did price do overnight? Where is price now? And what must I see price do before we take a trade, before I execute a trade? We need to ask ourselves that question so that we have a process that we're using every time. So if the setup you're looking for, when you ask that question, you're looking for direction, right? When you ask that question, you're looking for direction. And to trade, you need a process to tell you that, okay, this is a buy or this is a sell, right? You need a process to tell you which direction market is going in, right? And for us in the inner circle, the VIP Traders Lounge, right? For us, we have three processes that we use, which are, I mean, there's no top secret anything. Is readily available everywhere when you Google it, right? In fact, with AI now, I'm sure you even find it easier. So we have what we call break of structures, but we also have a defined way of what we call a break of structure. So we have a defined way of what we call a break of structure, and then we have market structure shifts, MSS. Don't mind this, my mouse. The mouse is just doing its own thing today. Market structure shifts. And then we have the third one, which we call rejection candles. Rejection candles. That's this RC, right? Those are the three setups we use. And we can do a combination of them or just focus on one of them or whichever way we like to use them, right? So whichever one occurs first, we just use it. All right. So this is gold. What did price do overnight? So let's look at break of structure. So price started from here, pushed up, came back down, pushed up again, gave us a small break of structure right there, pushed down, pushed back up, gave us a market structure shift right there, pulled all the way back down, right? Now, at these lows here, I'm sure you can notice that we have rejection candles right there at those lows, right? You can see rejection candles. And in fact, so let's talk about trade management here, or trade setups as well, right? So we said we use rejection candles, right? So this is a rejection candle. This first one here is a rejection candle. In fact, I was discussing with one of us in the inner circle earlier. They were just asking, and we're just having a back and forth just to talk about it, right? So this is a setup. It's a rejection candle, right? Even though overall you had a market structure shift at the top here, right? Even though, so in case you missed this market structure shift right here, right, for these cells, in case you missed this one, now it's giving you the first setup. Okay, now you put your stop loss perhaps somewhere at the lows there. Okay, or maybe you may have been stopped out on this bearish engulfing candle, right? But the thing is, you always follow your process every time. You never get tired of it. And so the other thing now, so the first one, it did not work out. So let's assume you get stopped out on this, right? So it did not work out. And then let's assume you now take this second one because this is a bearish engulfing candle and it's a rejection candle. Is it a setup? Yes, it's a setup. Now you take this setup and then you get stopped out again. Now it gives you another setup. You can see a nice bullish engulfing candle, right? You see, that's why I say you never know what market is going to do. That's one. And then don't get carried away by, trading gurus who tell you, this is what the market must do. In fact, I must look for one video. There's one particular video I've been looking for of somebody who risked a lot. I'm sure I'll give that to our inner circle once I'm able to find it. But right, so this is the first setup that did not work out. Let's assume it got stopped out, right? Second setup, it did not work out. Third setup, look at that is the one that now worked out, right? Now, price, what did price do next? What did price do next? Price then pushed up from these lows here, pushed all the way up. It's pulled back down, and then it's pushing back up right now. Right now, price is somewhere around the 51.60 area or 51.59, around there. Okay, so now what do you expect price to do? Let's look at the overall break of structure type setup. Now, when you had the market structure shift here, that means this high is here. In fact, the high here. Oh, okay. So price just came just to that level right now. Okay, no wonder. Right. So this zone here will be my markup zone that I will say. So remember the kind of setup we're looking for. We're looking for price to continue going downwards. If it's breaking down, we want it to continue going downwards. We don't want it to break that lower high. Okay, so this is the last lower high, this zone here. That's the last lower high. Price has come back into it. It's giving us a bearish engulfing candle, giving us rejection candle, and then a push up, right? Now, so the question is, will this be sustained? We do not know. Right? Will price from here decide that, okay, I've pushed up, so I'm going to come back down and then continue going back up? That is what we would expect, right? But will price do that? You don't have control over follow through, whether market is going to follow through or not. You do not have control over that. Okay, so right now, we're just watching to see what price will do. If it's part of your risk and you can risk it, you can say, okay, I'm going to take an entry right now. You take a nice buy here, put your stop loss at the lows there, and then look for price to go up, right? However, if price then comes all the way down and closes down like this, right? This would be a very nice bearish engulfing candle. So that will be a rejection candle. And then what would you expect? You expect some sort of pullback and then for price to come back down, possibly to those lows, right? So if this happens, then you expect this to happen, right? You have to always follow those if-then process, right? Okay, so let's move on. Let's move on. So price on gold, the entries have been set for us already. So let's see what price will do. It's looking more likely that it's going to go up right now. Okay, but we've also said if it breaks that low where it started from, if it breaks it, then price is likely to turn back to go down. Okay, so the only thing is that you need to decide, okay, am I ready to take that risk? And remember what we say for our inner circle members, you always need to determine how many trades am I going to take in a day. So if you say in a day, I'm only taking maximum of 3 trades. If you have already taken 3 trades already today, then you should not be taking any more trades, right? If you say, okay, my account will allow me to take a maximum of 5 trades in a day, then you can consider that. Okay, so let's move on to the next pair. Okay, so we had wow, this one is very nice. We had an entry somewhere here earlier in the morning. Our first TP was hit, and then price decided to turn back. Okay, so we said, what did price do overnight? Let me look at this, just squeeze it in a bit so that we can see it. What did price do overnight? Let me remove all these ones. Okay, so price started from here, went all the way down. So we had a break of structure there, right? And then what happened next? It gave you a rejection candle down here. So this is a nice kangaroo tail, but this was early in the morning. That was like 2 a.m. West African time. So I'll be sleeping at that time. I'm not on my chart, right? And then it pushed up, pushed back down, right? You're expecting it from here. When it's pushing back, you're expecting it to pull all the way back down. But what did price do instead? Price then broke this structure here. So it gave you a market structure shift right there, push back, and then went up. Okay, now at this top here, what did it do? It still pulled back and then came back up. But even from here, you can see the story it is telling you, right? You can see the story. Let me enlarge this so you can see it, right? You can see the story the price action is telling you. It's telling us that, so let me just mark those candles. So look at this. So there's a wick above, a wick below there, right? Then this next one, there's another wick on that one. Let me move this away. So there's another wick on this one, right? It's telling you that price is sort of slowing down. It's trying to decide, what are we going to do next? Then it gives you a doji, right? And then it gives you a nice bearish engulfing candle. right? So if you're using your breakup structures, you have another setup right there. So it is now left to you to decide, okay, do I want to take this setup or do I not want to take this setup? So that is part of your bigger plan, in your bigger trade process, where you say, okay, I'm allowed to take 5 trades today, or I'm allowed to take 10 trades today, or whatever number, or I'm allowed to take only 1 trade in a day, right? So you then decide from there, say, okay, this is what I have. I have a setup now. But right now, what do we have? We don't have any setup right now. Okay. And if, in fact, if you look at breakup structures type thing, it's moved all the way up. And then look at this now. On this candle is done a breakup structure, because from these highs here, this was the lowest level here. Actually, we don't have a proper breakup structure here. Actually, so we don't have a break above, close above. So this is the high. Yeah, we don't have a break above, close above. We do not have that, right? So price has just turned. Okay, price has just turned. So what are we looking for? We're expecting to see possibly some sort of rejection candles down there, or price may come all the way back down, go below these levels here, come down back down to these zones here, right, to the very lows here. Price can do that. But right now, we do not have anything to work with, right? We don't have anything to work with, except if we say, okay, I'm going to take this as a pullback, right? I take this as my first leg, right? So remember what we say when price is pushing down. Where is that setup now? So when price is pushing down, making lower lows, lower highs. Okay. So if you assume that, if you say to yourself, I'm going to take this as my first leg. So price has moved down. So right now, I'm expecting some sort of pullback and then a continuation downwards. So you'll be looking for your price to give you some sort of pullback somewhere there. Or you could say to yourself, okay, in fact, this is a bit more advanced, but anyway, let's just look at it. So we could say if price breaks below this level, right? So you have a nice break of this last low here. Okay. If this price comes and breaks this level here, then you can look for some sort of pullback to continue downwards. Okay, so there are so many ways. Like they always say, there are more than one ways to get to the market. There's more than one ways you can do this. So just look for, that's why we ask those 3 questions. What must I see price do before I execute a trade? So if it's breakup structures you're waiting for, then wait for that pullback. If it's rejection candles you're looking for, then take the trades once you see the rejection candles. Okay, let's look at the next chart. This is Euro Yen. Okay, our first TP was hit there, and yes, we sent a note to our inner circle members about this here, right? So just doing the same thing. Market is just doing the same thing again. So let's look at it from the holistic point of view. Where is that bit there? Okay, so let's look at what it did overnight, so that we'll get to this level here. So price came from here, pushed down, pushed up, started coming down, could not sustain it, came back up here, see a market structure shift, a pullback, and then a push up to the level here. Push back down, then push back up, then eventually a market structure shift right there, pull back, and then it's right here, right? So market is at a low right now. It's at a low. So what do you expect? If you're using those breakup structures, you expect some sort of pullback, right? And then for market to continue going back down. Okay, that is what you're expecting. Now, if market does not do that, so you have said, if this happens, then this will happen. But if it does not do that, if it gives you a nice kangaroo tail somewhere here, for instance, if it gives you a nice kangaroo tail here, what does that tell you? It's telling you that it may likely then begin to move up, right? And then you say, okay, I'm going to apply the rejection candle setup in this instance, right? Will it always work? No, it won't always work. But will it work over a series of trades? Yes, definitely. It will work over a series of trades, right? So it will always, you're always looking at it over a series of trades, not just one trade. Okay, let's look at the next chart. This is pound AUD. Okay, yes. This pair used to be one of my favorite pairs. Okay, anyway, so let's look at this. So what has price done overnight? So price has pushed up. It did a break of structure right here, right? Pushed up all the way down there, came back down, came up, came back down. You see, price will always, I remember what Jim Rohn says. He says success always leaves clues. Success leaves clues. Look at all these bits here, but this is for those who were in the London session, right? Look at all these wicks, right? Wicks. What does the wicks tell you? You can see dojis, you can see kangaroo tails, you can see bearish engulfing candles at the top. So what is it telling you? It's telling you that price is likely to turn. And did price turn? Yes, it has turned down. So right now, price has come down to this level. So from this high here, it's come all the way down, right? It's pulled back. In fact, do I want to take this as a market structure shift? Let me see. I'm not sure I want to take this as a market structure shift. It's just one candle, but well, a market structure shift is a market structure shift. So let's take it that yes, this is a market structure shift. Okay, to the top side. Okay, so let's see. What will the market then do? So we're expecting that with this market structure shift, price can come all the way back up to this level here. Can price then decide that, okay, I'm going to push up maybe to somewhere here and then fall? Yes, it can do that. But are you willing to take that risk? Right? That's always the thing. You always, so besides getting the setup, are you willing to apply the risk of your capital on that particular trade? You have to be willing to take that risk. Okay. So pound Aussie looks like it's beginning to shift up. Right, let me just look at it because I actually have an eye on it on the 4-hour time frame. Yeah, so you see on the 4-hour time frame, it's giving us a nice bearish engulfing candle there. So we are still good for those who are, that's our inner circle members who are doing a swing trade, right? Except if price then comes all the way and just break us out. Anyway, but let's go back to where we like to check the charts. Yeah, so okay, so let's see. This one has moved away. That's not what we want. This is Euro USD. Okay, so Euro USD, what did Euro USD do? Let me remove this. So Euro USD did a push up from here, a nice push up, push back down, push up, right? We expected it to continue going up, but what did it do? It gave you a nice break of structure. So if you are trading Euro USD, you can see a nice break of market structure shift right here, a very nice one, right? From here, it then just pushes all the way down, right? So if you are trading Euro USD, you will have gotten some nice trades here earlier this morning. But right now, so what do you expect? Where's your last valid range? So let's remove this one. So your last valid range is right here, up here, this one here, this zone here. That's your last valid range. So you're expecting price to pull back. You don't expect it to close above, so you pull back and then continue downwards, right? But if it does this and close above this zone here, then it's no longer a pullback. It's now a change of direction, right? Okay, so let's move on. Pound USD. Okay, what is Pound USD doing too? So Pound USD too as well gave us a nice break of structures, and then market structure shifts right there, a pullback, and then it's down to this level now. So now it's pushing back up, right? And the risk is always that price can just push back to this level and then just continue, just give us a small pullback and then continue going up. That's the risk you will face in this setup, right? So we have, that is our, where is this thing now? Let me do this. I want to mark the zone. Yeah, that's the zone. Okay, that's the last break of structures that we have. So as long as it doesn't, if it breaks above this level, then we're looking for buys. But right now, we're looking for the potential to then sell. Okay. However, if you say, for instance, oh, I want to take rejection candles, by the close of this candle, which is just in another 9 minutes, it will have given you a nice bullish engulfing candle. So if you combine this candle here, if it closes up like this, right, and you combine the two of them. So it's a bullish engulfing candle to this last one. That means you can take a quick buy here, put your stop loss at the lows, and see if price will come up to this level and then perhaps even go further up, right? So you can use any of those setups, rejection candles, market structure shifts, or break of structures. You can use any of them. USD yen. Okay, USD yen. What is USD yen doing? USD yen is doing what it likes, right? So it has done this, came up, came down first, then gave us a market structure shift right there, pushes up, right? Push down, push up. So right now, this is another market structure shift. If this one closes bearish like this, right, that's another market structure shift. And then you could actually shift it all the way down. Okay, lovely. Do we have any questions? Okay, very good. So
I have a
oh
question,
yes,
Mr.
please go
Jerry.
ahead, ma.
Good afternoon,
Good
everyone.
afternoon, ma.
Okay, there's a place, I think it was the one after gold,
Gold,
pound,
pound JPY. Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
I saw those two dodgy candles or rejection candles together. One was bearish, one was
At the top here.
bullish. Um, okay, maybe it's looking bigger now.
Let me see.
And
Is
I
it at the
wanted to
top
see.
here?
No.
No.
Hi.
Okay. Let's
Oh,
see.
I wanted to snap it so that we won't miss it because I knew you were going to do the other ones. So I wanted you to explain what it exactly means. It's
Okay.
like you remember it on last week. It was
All right.
looking like
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Um.
and it confuses me a bit. So I wanted you
Right.
to throw
Okay. So
more.
let me clear out all these charts so you can see the charts very clearly. Is it this
Okay,
one here?
do the next pair from this.
The next pair,
Let me see. Maybe
Euro JPY. Let me remove all this. Does it show it's
no, I think it's more like the other one. He had a bearish rejection,
okay?
then
Let's
a
let's
bullish.
start from the top.
Very close to that. The
So this
bodies
is
are
this
almost
is gold. It's not on this one.
not gold. It's not gold. It wasn't
Okay.
gold.
This is pound JPY.
Yeah, I thought it was this. And can you go back a little?
Okay, let's see. Pound JPY. Let's go
What's
back.
30? Wow.
I think that
No,
other
no,
day
it's
we said it was
not
17
that far.
to.
It's not as you were
It wasn't that
explaining
far.
now. Mm-mm. Was as you were explaining now. I'll look at it. I'll send to you. I'll
Okay.
look at all
But is
the
it something
numbers.
like this one here where you have a kangaroo tail and then another
No,
something
it
like
wasn't a
that?
kangaroo. It was a rejection, but it
Good.
was bearish first, and then bullish, and the bodies were almost alike.
Right.
Don't worry, when I do the video, I will
Okay.
take a picture,
All
and
right.
then
Okay. Please do.
then I
Please
wanted
do.
to say the second thing. I
Yeah.
wanted you to explain when you were talking about can I take this as a market structure shift? You said
Yes.
something about no, it's not really bottom. It's not a bottom up and below. And there was a phrase you used there. I didn't really understand that part.
All right. So that was I think that was on this man here, Pound Aussie. So Pound
Yes.
Aussie has so when you're looking at break of structures, right? Just break of structures, Pound Aussie moved up, right, all the way to the top, then started moving sideways. Eventually, then it moved down, breaking this structure here, right? This structure that was holding it here is broken into the down level here. Now it's pushed up, and then it's pushing. Well, it pushed up, pushed back down, and then went back up again, right? So the question I was asking myself was that, do I want to take just one candle as my pullback? Actually, now I see that it's actually a valid one. Look at this. So typically we like to see two things. We want to see an opposite candle and we want to see a pullback candle, right? Those two things. And that has occurred here. So this is an opposite candle.
Mhm.
This first one is an opposite candle. This next one is your pullback candle because it's lower. The high of that candle is lower than the high of this candle is lower than this high here, right? So this break here, when this price then pushed up, this break here is then valid. It makes it valid, right? So on this lower time frame, right, we can see something like this, market doing a push up. But for all we know, it can just do, because on the higher time frame, which we just checked briefly, on the higher time frame is looking more like it wants to turn, but there's a lot of infighting between pound Aussie and what do we call it now? This pound Aussie higher time frame and the lower time frame. There's some fighting in there. So for instance, typically speaking, oh, okay. This gives us a different picture. This is the daily chart, right? But look at the 4-hour time. So this daily chart has actually been going down all this while, and then now it's giving us a break here, right? If this candle closes where it is right now, then that will be some bullishness, and then we can expect price to then perhaps move to these highs. Okay, that's on the daily chart. But overall, on the daily chart, it's going downwards. Okay, let's just wait and see. So on the 4-hour, however, on the 4-hour chart, what do we have? We have this bearish engulfing candle here, which is still in play, right? The only time we'll now say this bearish engulfing candle has been invalidated is when this price then decides to move all the way and break these highs here. Once we have a break and close above, then we'll be looking for price to perhaps move further up there. But right now is a valid sell on this 4-hour time frame, right? Okay, so let's look at the lower one. Let's look at that 30 minutes chart. Where are we? Okay, yes, 30 minutes chart. So on the 30 minutes chart as well, it's giving us a market structure shift right here. Okay, and it's giving us a nice bullishness there. You can see some nice bullishness. So all we can see now is that it's still very bullish. Okay, if we compare that to was it USD yen? Okay, so USD yen, look at USD yen. If we went to a higher time frame, I'm sure you will see something different as well. So you see on a higher time frame, on this time frame, on this 4-hour time frame, you can see this very bearish candle, right? So the way I look at it, look at the story the thing is telling you. So one candle, right? One candle started from this high here all the way to these lows. That's about 100 pips, right? Just on one candle, it did that. Then on almost 3 candles now, this is 31 minutes left on this 4-hour candle. So it took 4 hours and another 4 hours, right? And then just in another 30 minutes, this will make it another 4 hours. So 4 hours times 4, right? Just for it to push itself all the way up to this level. That tells you that the sellers are still very, very much in play, right? Because with just one fell swoop, they went all the way down. And then it's taking the buyers, the buy people, those who are buying, it's taking them quite a long time, right? Over 16 hours, or well, about 16 hours now, for it to just come back just to this level here, right? And then what is it showing you here on the lower time frame, right? So on the lower time frame, you can see some market structure shifts, and then it's pulling back down. Okay, will this be sustained? We do not know. For all we know, it can just push down a bit, and then just fly up again. It can do that. But all we can do is just follow the setup as it's giving us. So by the time it comes down, I want to give us, I think there was an example or a good example of this. So by the time it comes back down, once it then wants to change, you'll see it change direction, something like that. Okay. So let me show us an example, because I think I saw that on Euro. No, it was on pound JPY. pound JPY. I'll do this, and this will be the last one. So pound JPY 30 minutes last week, right? Was it on or euro? Let me see, euro JPY. Yeah, I think it's euro JPY. Okay, yes. So look at euro JPY. Look at what this man did. It's actually better on pound JPY, but let's look at this. So price went up all the way up, right? Nice bullish engulfing candle, right? It pushed up and then it started pulling back down, right? So you can see with this push down, then it started pushing up from here. This bullish candle here, this another one, this another one. It pulls back and then it comes back up here, right? This one doesn't show it very well, very nicely. It was I think this man here that shows it a bit more nicely. Yeah, this one you can see the rejection candles. It shows it very nicely, right? It started pushing back down. You can see a kangaroo tail there. Started pushing back down, but then you can see kangaroo tail and then a bullish engulfing candle right there, and then it pushes up before it then decides to fall over the weekend, right? So sometimes price will begin to go up and then show you signals that it wants to start coming down, and then it just change direction there and then. Okay, beautiful. Okay, we've actually spent a lot of time here. Thank you also very much for being here. We'll see you again tomorrow by God's grace on our live daily analysis of the markets. Thank you.